Welcome to the incredible world of dinosaurs. Here you're going to meet many members of the magnificent and mysterious dinosaur family. Like any family, you'll notice that not all the relatives look alike or act the same. Oh, this is a Apatosaurus. That's a Apatosaurus. Its name and the names of many of the dinosaurs are at first a little tricky to say, but you quickly get the hang of it. And speaking the names becomes part of the fun of learning about these amazing animals. Fully grown, a Apatosaurus was as tall as a 3-story building. Its neck reached out nearly 20 feet, and it weighed nearly 30 tons, 60,000 pounds. One Apatosaurus weighed as much as 6 of these elephants, and they're among the biggest animals in the world today. Can you imagine what it would have been like to go for a walk in the woods and come face to face with this giant? Just think of it. You can think about what it would have been like to meet a Apatosaurus, but you don't have to worry about it. This is the dinosaur exhibit at the Academy of Natural Sciences in Philadelphia. The Academy and other museums around the world are the only places you can go to see and touch dinosaurs. It's not like going to the zoo, where your favorite animals are walking around and in some cases can even be petted. This is a totally different experience, a wonderful experience. When you walk into the dinosaur exhibit, it's like walking back in time, way back. We came here to see what dinosaurs were really like, how they looked, how they acted, and to find out if a lot of old stories are true about them living at the same time as cavemen, whether they were all gigantic, dangerous, and dumb, and why they disappeared, became extinct. Let's start our adventure by getting one thing straight. This is as close as any person ever got to a dinosaur. Dinosaur bones, dug out of the ground in the form of fossils. Nobody, no man, woman, or child, ever saw a living dinosaur. Dinosaurs lived on the Earth for more than 160 million years, beginning, about 225 million years ago. A single dinosaur, like a Apatosaurus, could live for more than 100 years. The dinosaurs all disappeared millions of years before we came along. So when you see a picture of a dinosaur and a caveman together, enjoy it, but don't believe it ever happened. How can we be sure? The answer is in the earth. Dinosaur skeletons, the animal's bones and its teeth, were preserved in the ground long after the animals died. Paleontologists, scientists who dig up and study fossils, read those bones and teeth the way you might read a book. Every one has a story to tell. This is paleontologist Bill Gallagher. Later we'll join him at the location of a very important dinosaur discovery and on a dinosaur dig with a group of school children. By reading the fossils, scientists like Gallagher can tell the type of dinosaur, the age of the dinosaur, and much, much more. As if putting together a puzzle, piece by piece, scientists build or reconstruct the dinosaur from the bones they find. And in comparison with today's animals, which we believe are descendants or cousins of the dinosaurs, it's long, hard work. Finding fossils is not easy, and once found, scientists have to work with several other people, including artists, to be able to show us and tell us everything from how the dinosaurs looked to what they ate for dinner and how they raised their young. Digging for fossils is one thing. Knowing what to look for is another. You must first know exactly what a dinosaur is and what makes it special in the animal world. You must also know what the world was like during the age of dinosaurs. Mike Weilbacher is a teacher at the Academy of Natural Sciences. His subject is dinosaurs.
The first dinosaurs lived about 225 million years ago. The last dinosaurs vanished 65 million years ago. So planet Earth had dinosaurs on it for about 160 million years.
What was it like way back then?
During that time, the planet looked very different than it does today. For one, it was a warmer place. There was no winter anywhere on the Earth.
No winter. It was like Florida in the middle of the summer, only it was like that every day of the year, everywhere on the Earth. You say you couldn't live without an air conditioner in that kind of weather? Well, some scientists believe hot weather was perfect for dinosaurs because dinosaurs, like modern reptiles, were cold-blooded, meaning their body temperatures depended on the temperature outside. They say the dinosaur was a sun worshiper. The warmer, the better. Alligators, which live in warm places like Florida, are cold-blooded reptiles and modern relatives of the dinosaurs. Later, you'll see that some scientists think one reason dinosaurs disappeared is because the Earth gradually got cooler and the dinosaurs could not survive the colder temperatures. Not only did it feel different during the days of the dinosaurs, the Earth looked a lot different. This is a map of the world today, and this is how it looked during the time of the dinosaurs. You'll notice the United States, as well as all the other countries, were connected. Dinosaurs lived on Earth before the great oceans and mountains formed, before what we know today as countries and continents broke apart. That is why we find dinosaur fossils in many parts of the world, in places thousands of miles apart, which were once near one another. And they were all warm.
There were no ice caps. North and South Pole were both free of ice. Because there were no ice at the ice caps, there was much more water available on the surface of the planet, so it was a wetter planet than it is today. During the last period of the age of dinosaurs, for example, there was a seaway that extended right up the Mississippi River. So most of the middle of North America was covered by an arm of the ocean. So today in places like Kansas, you find fossil remains of giant reptiles that swam in the ocean. The ocean's long gone.
Also long gone are the giant sea reptiles. These were not dinosaurs. Dinosaurs lived on land, though some of them, like the hadrosaur, also called the duckbill because of its duck-like beak, took an occasional dip in the water the way the elephant does today. But while it lived near water, it did not live in the water. You'll notice that giant flying reptiles soared through the air during the dinosaur days. But these were also not dinosaurs. They are called pterosaurs, or winged lizards. And this one, the pteranodon, had a 27-foot wingspan, but not a dinosaur. Only certain animals can be called dinosaurs, a special name for a special kind of animal.
The word dinosaur was first coined in 1841 by a British professor, Sir Richard Owen. He invented the word dinosauria to describe several different kinds of large reptiles that were described then. The word means terrible lizard. And when he used the word terrible, he didn't mean mean or ferocious or vicious. He meant just very large.
And there were more than just a handful of dinosaurs. There are the famous favorites: Tyrannosaurus rex, king of the dinosaurs; Stegosaurus, the spike-tailed dinosaur; Triceratops, the horn-faced dinosaur; and, of course, Apatosaurus, a member of the family of the biggest animals that ever lived. And there were hundreds more.
So far, we have discovered about 500 or so different kinds of dinosaurs, different species of dinosaurs. And of course, that changes every year, because every summer, as field teams go out and dig up more fossils, they discover new kinds.
Dinosaur searchers never know what they are going to find. But one of the most important discoveries was made on this site in Haddonfield, New Jersey, near Philadelphia, in 1858. Scientists did not find just another dinosaur. They found something special that would change the study of dinosaurs for generations to come. Unlike other reptiles, they found in the earth proof dinosaurs could stand erect. Bill Gallagher, on the site of the discovery, explains to a group of students how the find was made.
When they had dug about 10 feet down, they hit a layer of shells. And associated with this layer of shells, just below it, were the large bones of an ancient extinct reptile, a dinosaur. And this was Hadrosaurus. There were 28 backbones. There were teeth. There were pieces of the rib. But most importantly, what folk had dug out and given to Dr. Leedy in Philadelphia were the arms, the legs, and the hips. And for the first time, because he had the legs and the arms and the hip bones, what he could do was show that dinosaurs were capable of standing erect.
The dinosaur was named Hadrosaurus fulci, after William Parker Fulk, the amateur paleontologist who made the discovery. From then on, scientists knew dinosaurs were different from any other reptile because they could stand erect, and that their skull, hip, and back were different from any other reptile. From this and other discoveries, scientists learned more about dinosaurs, more about the hadrosaur, including its eating habits. The hadrosaurs, which were plant eaters, were constantly growing, grinding, and losing teeth, thousands of teeth during a lifetime. At the museum, you can get a close-up look at the plant eater's jaw and see the difference between that and this meat eater's jaw of Tyrannosaurus rex. To build the model or reconstruction of the dinosaur, scientists compare the dinosaur to modern reptiles, like the alligator, snake, or other members of the reptile family. They look at everything, from the muscle structure to the color, to give them some idea of how dinosaurs would have been built and looked. This hadrosaur weighed about 6,000 pounds, was about 30 feet long, and 12 feet tall. While there is still some scientific guesswork involved in piecing together the story of dinosaurs, there is no question the most important discovery was that they could stand erect. For the first time, scientists had a standard way of classifying dinosaurs, those they had earlier found and those they would find years later. All dinosaurs could stand erect and walk erect because of the special way they were built. Their leg and hip bones were connected in such a way to allow them to walk erect. Some, called bipedal, meaning 2 feet, even walked or ran mostly on their back or hind legs. While there are more than 500 types of dinosaurs, they all belong to one of two major classifications or groups based on the structure of their hips. One group is called the saurischians, or lizard-hipped, because the hip structure resembles that of modern lizards. The other group are the ornithischians, because the hips resemble those of today's birds, not in size, but structure. All the meat-eaters, including T-Rex and the long-necked plant-eaters like Apatosaurus, are in the lizard-hipped group. The bird-hipped group includes the Stegosaurus, Ceratopians, and the Ankylosaurs. The Ankylosaurs today look like something out of a science fiction movie, covered with armor-type plates and spikes. Actually, they were peaceful plant-eaters who may have used their powerful tails for defense. There were quite a variety of dinosaurs. You already met the giant Apatosaurus, but don't get the idea all dinosaurs were big. This dinosaur, called Compsognathus, meaning pretty jaw, was only the size of a rooster. You wouldn't get this close, however, because it was a tough meat-eater. Not all dinosaurs were big, and not all dinosaurs were slow. Sure, Apatosaurus could not move very fast. After all, look at the weight he was carrying around. But this dinosaur, one of the ornithomimosaurs, or ostrich dinosaur, because it looked like this modern ostrich, could gallop at more than 60 miles per hour. Not having sharp teeth or a spiked tail for protection, this dinosaur relied on its speed to avoid attackers. When you study dinosaurs, you see that every one appears to have some special feature that helped it survive, to hunt for food or defend itself from attack. Something special. Stegosaurus was a rather slow-moving plant-eater. As for the plating on its body, we think it had a purpose other than defense from attackers.
We've long wondered about the plates on the back of Stegosaurus. What do they do? Well, recent evidence has showed us that the plates of Stegosaurus are filled with blood vessels. Now, we can look at elephants today, large animals who live in hot places. Elephants have large ears. Elephants flap their ears to cool off.
The long-necked plant-eaters use their necks the same way giraffes do today. The ceratops, which looks a lot like today's rhinoceros, had thick skin and horns to scare off attackers. The plant-eaters had strong jaws and rows of short, stubby teeth, perfect for grinding, while the meat-eaters had sharp, long teeth for tearing. Some dinosaurs searched for plants. Others hunted for other animals. Some were vicious. But it's wrong to think that the meat-eaters like Tyrannosaurus spent all their time killing other dinosaurs.
It's not to Tyrannosaurus's advantage to fight Triceratops every time it wanted a meal. In fact, Tyrannosaurus may have spent a lot of time scavenging, looking for dead dinosaurs. If you've got a dead dinosaur lying over here, why fight Triceratops if you've got a free meal?
We're not sure how dinosaurs talked to each other, but we think this dinosaur, the Corythosaurus, used the long crest on its head to communicate with others. And based on the size of their brains, we know some types of dinosaurs were intelligent, capable of using their heads for more than a battle, although we think some did that too. But dinosaurs were definitely not stupid. They went around in packs or herds, a safe way to travel and hunt. Studying the tracks from millions of years ago, scientists say the babies were kept in the middle of the herd for protection. The dinosaurs were excellent parents, protecting their young from harm and helping them get food. One dinosaur, Maiasaurus, is called the good mother dinosaur.
Maiasaurus seems to be a dinosaur that laid its eggs in a nest, guarded the nest, guarded the babies when they were hatched, and kept them in the nest for so long that they brought food into the nest to feed the young. So suddenly we have dinosaurs as good parents, as good as modern birds are.
Just look at these babies. We believe the mother dug the nests for her eggs, then would lay up to 75 grapefruit-sized eggs at a time. The babies were a little over a foot long at birth and would grow to about 10 feet tall, 25 feet long, and weigh more than 6,000 pounds. In many ways, the dinosaurs seemed like the perfect survivors. And they did survive for millions of years. Then why did they disappear? We join Mike Weilbacher as he discusses the disappearance of the dinosaurs with a group of children, as he explores the mystery of why animals like the opossum he's holding and that alligator survived while the dinosaurs vanished.
Scientists today generally think one of two things happened. The first that may have happened was something from outer space caused the extinction of dinosaurs. Perhaps a shower of comets smashed into the planet 65 million years ago, raising a tremendous dust cloud that circled the globe, blackened out the sun for a number of months. When the sun couldn't shine through the cloud, the plants died out. When the plants died, plant eaters disappeared. When they disappeared, there went the meat eaters. There are other scientists who say no, that's not what happened. What caused the death of the dinosaurs was a slow, gradual change in the Earth over the course of many millions of years. You have a combination of cooling of the planet, the shifting of the continents, the rising of mountain chains, the eruption of volcanoes, the dropping of the ocean level. Those things may have together killed off the dinosaurs and all the other animals that disappeared at that time. So what you have is scientists who say it was quick and catastrophic, and others who say no, it was slow and gradual. What really happened? Well, we'll have to hop into a time machine and go back 65 million years and see for ourselves.
Every time a scientist digs into the earth in search of dinosaur fossils, they enter a time machine. If you can't go on a dig, you can do the next best thing, and that's go to the museum. Here, though the dinosaurs are not alive, you can feel the excitement. Why do we love them as if they were still alive? Why do children get so excited about dinosaurs?
They're big. Some of them are big. And no one tells a Tyrannosaurus what to eat, or when to go to bed. Tyrannosaurus can do anything it wants to do, whenever it wants to do it. It can eat anything it wants, whenever it wants. Dinosaurs are better than dragons, because dragons didn't exist, and dinosaurs did. They can come to a museum and see the skeleton standing there. So they can fantasize about an animal that large and that powerful and that much in control. And it's safe to fantasize about dinosaurs because you're not going to open your backyard door and go out and see one. They're gone, but they're real.
These are dinosaurs as pictured by a group of students from across the United States. Just look at the different scenes they've drawn. What fascinates them about dinosaurs?
Because they're so big.
They're just fascinating. They're like the monsters in fairy tales.
Pretty interesting. Something could have lived that long on the earth.
Just really fascinating how much we can learn and how much we can make up from. For me, being an artist, I like using my own imagination for things.
Like the rest of us, these young artists learn about dinosaurs by visiting museums, reading books, watching programs in the classroom or on television, and for some, going on a dig.
If we're lucky, today somebody will find some bones.
These students are part of a special summer program run by the University of Pennsylvania. Led by Bill Gallagher, they are learning about and looking for dinosaurs. He shows them how to slowly separate the earth in search of fossils. It takes time and patience to dig for fossils. If one spot does not produce a fossil, keep looking. This student found some, and this one too.
Again, but this is definitely bone. It's just a shard of bone. It looks like a piece of crocodile limb bone. That's what I would call it right now. It's from a giant marine crocodile, one of the kinds of crocodiles that lived in the ocean back in the age of dinosaurs. Yeah, see, you don't see that here. Stay back from it.
Carefully, they dig around it, whatever it is. Could it be a dinosaur bone? Could it be a jaw? Oh, well, it turns out to be a clamshell. So they keep on digging, keep on looking for that next dinosaur discovery.